Is Sony blocking games from Xbox Game Pass? That's the conversation we're going to have today on the show. We're going to get into this conversation regarding Sony and Microsoft, the whole hubbubaloo about them blocking stuff. Is it really happening? So coming from Windows Central, what you need to know, Microsoft is currently working to acquire Blizzard, as we know, a deal worth $69 billion. And Sony previously shared concerns it has over the acquisition with the Administrative Council for Economic Defense in Brazil. Microsoft also responded to these concerns, claiming that Sony is pushing back against the possibility of increased competition. As Microsoft works to acquire Activision Blizzard, the company is fielding questions from numerous regulators and agencies. As part of its responses, it's addressing concerns and pushed back against the idea that the acquisitions will reduce the competition. The article continues on Windows Central here to say that PlayStation parent company Sony previously noted concerns Microsoft owning Call of Duty could allow it to influence players' choice of consoles. Now, Microsoft has filed an in-depth response with the Administrative Council, detailing why it believes Sony is objecting, why it claims there are no anti-competitive concerns, and that acquisitions should be approved. I'll pause there for a second. Your thoughts?
So for me, it's no duh. And I want people to understand this is just, they have to go through this with every regulatory across the world. So they do Brazil, they'll do US, they're doing all these different places.
Yeah.
But this is a business, is my thought. And Microsoft is a business, Sony is a business, and they're here to make money. They're here to sling mud. It is what it is. Like, I understand all the rest of the developers didn't really care about this merger, and they were just like, it is. Microsoft even saying like Call of Duty is not that big of a game is also laughable too. But Sony taking shots and saying that, this game, we can't make a game like this, because that's something they previously said. Sony said, well, we can't compete with this game. But then also later on in this article, you'll hear that Microsoft says, we didn't spend $69 billion to not put it on everything because we won't be able to make money. And I truly believe that. If this game is that big and you spent this kind of money, yes, I think Call of Duty will be on every console.
Yeah.
But to think that Sony blocking games is a shocker or it's a bad thing, no, it's a smart move business-wise, and Microsoft getting games on Game Pass and getting exclusivities, or PlayStation getting exclusivities with Final Fantasy. It's just the game. It's just the way it's done. And it works. If the economics didn't show that they made profit by doing this, they wouldn't do it. But it's obvious. Like, we associate PlayStation with Final Fantasy. Mm-hmm. It is a third party. It is not a first party, but we know that Final Fantasy is on PlayStation. It's not on Xbox. I think of one of the games that might have been this game that was blocked would maybe a game like Guardians of the Galaxy, just because this came to Game Pass and we kept thinking it was coming. And I remember when I did a video where like, this game's coming to Game Pass. It didn't. It finally did. So did Avengers. But we know that Square Enix has a very good relationship with Sony. I would love to know what the numbers are. I know some of the numbers came out during that whole Apple and Fortnite thing that went on.
Oh yeah.
There was numbers that came out on how much you're paying for this and so on and so forth. Sony blocking games from coming to Game Pass is a smart move, because I truly feel Game Pass sells consoles.
Yeah, it does.
So Sony blocking that game from coming to Game Pass day one makes people still buy the physical copy of the game.
Buy it over here. Like,
exactly. If you got a PlayStation and that's where you play, but if more and more of these third-party games are showing up on Game Pass day and date, more and more it will shift. Some of the numbers in there, like PlayStation straight up admitting that Xbox Game Pass is killing it. They admit this.
This is one of the things in here. It was, I'm just looking at the bottom. There have been no Activision Blizzard games included in Xbox Game Pass, which was first introduced in 2017. Since then, the service has grown over 25 million subscribers as of January 2022. So they're inching towards 30 million subscribers, something that Microsoft notes did not require Activision Blizzard titles like Call of Duty. That right there, where I'm like, you have 30 million users in the wild of a variety of subscription bases of 1 month to a year plus. That is without Activision Blizzard games in Call of Duty.
You've already we've got Crash Bandicoot, Tony Hawk. These Activision Blizzard games, they're all showing up on PlayStation Plus. I was playing Tony Hawk on my PlayStation 5 the other day. Crash Bandicoot, both those Crash Bandicoot games are on PlayStation Plus. PlayStation Plus actually has launched their service, their streaming, their Game Pass competitor with Activision Blizzard games. I know Jez Corden wrote another article that I was reading the other day about the expectation that possibly Game Pass could get to 100 million subscribers just through the Activision Blizzard games coming in. And I think it could be. Like you and I have talked about this a lot. We have a ton of friends that just play Call of Duty and Madden and NHL. That's just what they play. That's all they play. And if you and I could go to them and say, hey, guess what? Just all you need is an Xbox to play all those games in Game Pass.
Looking at Activision's, I'm just pulling up an article here. Activision's Call of Duty surpasses 110 million monthly players, mostly on PC. That's coming from The Wrap with this article that's in 2020. That was just one of the first headlines here. Let's say that that's accurate or relative. That's on, and a majority of people playing on PC. That's where Xbox really dominates with Game Pass, or will in the future, is to go, well, $69 billion for this acquisition. We need to make this money back. How are we going to be able to do that? You do, to your point, you put it on everything. You allow it on everything. You will scoop up that PC market even more, because players will then say, well, I'm not dropping $100 on Call of Duty, or even up to $200 based off of Battle Pass, everything else that I buy, Season Pass. And they're going to make gobs of money just like on the PC side. If you have 110 100%. Million monthly users, let's just say it's 100 million users on PC side for Call of Duty, you might, if you get 10% of that and put that into Game Pass, you're going to get more than that. I think
they get more of that because...
yeah, I'm just saying, you lowball it as possible, and you're going to say, well, maybe 10.
It's funny because PlayStation right now, their strategy is they are putting out a PC game. I just played Spider-Man Remastered on PC. Phenomenal. But they're not doing the day and date like that Xbox is doing right now. Yep. Xbox is wanting to truly play anywhere. That's what they keep saying. And you could think that their only competition is Sony. Well, I bet you Steam's going there. Ooh, Call of Duty on Game Pass is a huge killer to us. Because if you're a PC player, like those 100 million you just said that are playing this game, why wouldn't you just get Game Pass instead of buying it on Steam?
That's the other, and I think that right there is a piece that the general market or the general audiences of console players are not looking at. We are very hyper focused on Xbox versus Sony, what Sony thinks of this is bad. Steam is sitting there as well, and there will be Steam, but it's Microsoft swooping in going, I want that market share. I'm taking that market share. Activision alone is going to it's going to stop and halt probably a large amount of players that are more on the casual side that go, I boot up my PC, I turn on Steam, I play Call of Duty. And that's what I have on Steam. You are now going to remove that.
Hey, we already know a Game Pass app is coming to Steam Deck. They're all playing nice in the sandbox.
Yeah.
You can play Game Pass games on the Steam Deck. It almost makes me want to get a Steam Deck after playing Spider-Man on PC.
Watching and all the clips on Twitter too of like people playing Spider-Man on their Steam Deck. I'm like, ooh, that sounds fun.
And if you're an Xbox person, you don't need a handheld because you can just get a Steam Deck because you can still play Game Pass. And we've seen it. You and I both, we announce the Game Pass games every time they come out. And what's the one common denominator now? It's PC, console, cloud. PC, console, cloud. It's almost all of them now. I remember when we first did it, we would just be like, oh, it's console and PC, or then it was just console, one was only PC. Now it's PC, console, cloud. PC, console, cloud. They want the trifecta every single time so they can get every bit of market share. The fact that you can play Fortnite on cloud gaming on your Xbox. So technically, if you can't get Fortnite on an iPhone, yes, you can. You just need the Xbox app. If you want to play As Dusk Falls, if you want to play Forza, you can play this on your phone now. It doesn't matter. You can play it on your tablet. You can play it on your phone.
That's where I think my last point here, just talking about Sony and thinking about day and date, that is truly one of the things I think long term, they really need to rethink their strategy. You are losing when you don't have Last of Us Part 1 remastered day and date. You don't have God of War 2 day and date on PC and your subscription service and physical. I'm sitting here like, why not? Why are you not interested in the potential revenue that you could swoop in and grab off of, say, God of War 2? Having that on PC, I don't understand, other than you are trying so hard to make sure that your audience and players and new are coming to the console, that you are buying the physical box, which I think is just short-sighted if that is the thinking, because the physical box is not going to matter anymore. It doesn't matter. I want to be able to play my games where I want. I know you do this all the time where you're like, I just turn my PC is better than this and it's better than that, and you have the consoles. It's where do I feel like playing? And to Spider-Man, you're like, this is incredible. I don't want to turn on my PlayStation 5 because my PC will outperform it, but I'm still playing the game and I'm giving you your money. Why do you care where I play it? I understand console experiences are amazing and not everyone's going to say I've got, this PC and can do this, but I just think you're missing out on just giant amounts of revenue if you're Sony. And if you're not going to be able to compete at all with the likes of Call of Duty, and you won't, but your big giant titles like your Wolverine, Spider-Man 2, your God of War 2, all of these other ones, these heavy hitters, how are they not on PC?
Or on your subscription service? At least do a Disney Plus. Like, but I look at Sony and I look at what Disney Plus is doing, and I wish they would just do the same. Give it to me 2 months later. Give it to me 60 days after release. That's fine. 60 days after release. I didn't get to see Thor in the movie theaters. I know it's coming out in 14 days on Disney Plus. Whatever.
Doesn't it surprise you though, with Disney Plus as the example, that you miss stuff, we were all doing stuff, and then you turn it on, you're like, oh, this is out? Oh, cool. Oh, it came out. I didn't get to see it. You could say the same thing with HBO Max, where you're like, the Batman came out and it's there. And you're like, oh, sweet. I'm like, this thing is still in theaters, isn't it? You're giving people the options. And I have the options as the consumer then to go, oh, I'm going to go watch Thor in the theater. And then in 10 days or 30 days, I'm going to be able to buy it on demand. Or I'm just going to get it through my subscription service. But yeah, if you're Sony, like, why not? 60, 90 days after Last of Us comes out?
You're going to get your money.
Yeah, you're going to make more money. I don't get it. But to round it back and to close it up here, is the Sony blocking, is it a good idea, bad idea?
It's fine. It's a good idea. It's a smart business decision, and I think we're going to see more of it.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments, and click one of these videos right here, because Court and I got more conversations coming out about all the Xbox news you need to know about. See ya.